The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Native Love webinar today. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today we want to discuss the overall Native Love project, as well as share information on a really great 8-month youth project. We'd love for you to share the information with your communities. So I want to introduce the Native Love team at the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. We've all been working very hard and enjoying this work as it deals with youth. So my name is Rebecca Baylog, born and raised in Pennsylvania. I'm Oglala Lakota, Mohawk, and Czechoslovakian Romani descent, and I'm the Grant Compliance Manager here at the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. We also have Rose Quilt, Project Specialist, Anita Lachesi, she's a Communications Specialist, Veronica Willetto, she's Administrative Assistant, Tang Chim is the IT Director, and Tara Azor, who is the Resource and Training Director. So today, Rose Quilt and I will be presenting the webinar, and we really want you to enjoy it. So please feel free to chime in, and we'll make sure we give you as much information to take back to your communities today. So with that, I guess it's housekeeping time, and I'd like to pass it over to Tara Azor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be running the webinar today, and for those of you who are first on the webinar experience, you'll see that a control panel has popped up on the probably right-hand side of your screen. If you would like to ask questions, if you look down into the blue divisions on the control panel, there is a box for you to click in and type in any questions. The presenters, Rose and Rebecca, have said that they will attempt to get those answered during the presentation, so you should be receiving feedback from those. You will be automatically muted for this presentation, so if you have any technical problems, there's also a button to raise your hand up, and I will zero in on that and see if there's anything that I can do to support or clear up any technical issues happening. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the webinar, and I'll turn this back over to Rebecca and Rose. Also, as a side note, we are recording, and this will be available on YouTube at a later date.
Thank you, Tara. So Rose, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, sure. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rose. I'm a program specialist with NIWRC, and I hail from the Northwest area. I'm enrolled Yakima up in Central Washington State. My grandmother was Lummi, so I'm also very familiar with my Lummi side, and so I've just been part of NIWRC for several years, and just real happy and excited to be working on this project with my sisters and our brother Tang, and just so pleased that you could all join us this afternoon. And as Tara mentioned, if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and type them in, and we'll take them throughout the presentation. So I hope you enjoy and get as much information as possible, and we're more than willing to answer any questions. So I'll turn it back over to you, Rebecca.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. So here, let me move my little control panel out of the way. So what we're sharing today, this is just going to be an outline of our conversation. So we're going to talk about the 2013 Native Love campaign, which was the launch campaign for Native Love. Then we have two other areas we're going to cover, which is the overall Native Love project, and then the Native Love Challenge. So these are 3 tracks of the overall campaign, which are all available on our website. So I'm going to go to the next one. So these are all our partners in this work with the Native Love Project. We have the Indian Law Resource Center, Verizon Hopeline, and Buffalo Nickel Creative, that everyone has played a really important role. We have lots of media, we have lots of research, toolkits, social media campaigns, this really big challenge contest, and then of course, you know, we're celebrating Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So all of the logos that you see here have been really important in all of the work that we're doing together. So I'm going to leave Rose to introduce the project.
Great, thank you. So for the Native Love campaign was really intended to raise awareness and to get the buy-in from our Native youth. Because as we know, our youth, they have different language, they have different communication styles than we're used to, us old fogies. I'd like to think that I'm still hip, but my teenage kids remind me that I'm not. So we really wanted to reach out and incorporate their voice and empower them at the same time to know that they have the power to redefine what Native love is and what it should be for them. Too often we hear among our youth that they talk about what Indian love, what that means, and many times it's a conversation that surrounds, getting a hickey or hickeys, having a black eye. It means snagging. It means this and that. So this campaign really gave us the opportunity to think about what Native love really is, and that it should come from a place of honor and respect, so that we can change that dialogue and really start thinking about how we can empower our youth to think and remember that women are sacred, and that it's always, pre-Columbus. If you think about our nations, we really upheld our women as sacred, as life givers. And so in talking to the youth at Chemawa, which we're going to get to shortly, that was a large part of our conversation with the youth, was that, instead of tearing each other down, let's help build each other up, and let's think about, how we are sacred as women and how we should treat one another, and just being a good relative. So it just really gave us a good opportunity, this whole campaign, and we're again just really excited. We're just getting the kickoff going, and so we have several months ahead of us, and we really just look forward to any feedback. We have different ideas as we're going through this, so we're just really look forward to sharing that with you. Next slide. I didn't know if you wanted to add anything else to that, Rebecca.
Yeah, just your closing statement with this slide, that we really welcome the work that's already being done in communities with youth. We like I mentioned, we have this challenge that we want to share to take back to your communities, but we would love to hear the things that are working in your programs, and we would love to share that information. And we've had a couple of great conversations at Chemawa already, offering support to teachers and educators while they're doing this work in the schools. So this project is for everyone, and we really welcome your comments and contributions. So I just wanted to add that. So now we'll do an overview of how the project started. So the Indian Law Resource Center partnered with Buffalo Nickel Creative and the Indigenous Women's Resource Center. And we launched this campaign November 4th, 2013, as you can see on the slide. And social media played a really big role, as this is a youth project. We had almost 6,000 shares here on social media, so it took off really well. Native love is respect, compassion, humility, community. All of these things are so important. So it was a really easy buy-in from different communities and different age groups. So this project, the 2015, is really important, and we've all been enjoying this work and welcome you to join us in it. So a part of what was compiled in 2013 is for site visits. So I know that there's some people on the phone line that don't necessarily have a video screen or a computer screen to follow along with the webinar. So as much as I don't like reading quotes necessarily and kind of ad-libbing, I am going to read the quotes because they're a significant part of the project. So in search of Native love, all of our partners, Buffalo Nickel Creative went with their expertise in media and film. We went to Alaska and made recordings of what Native love meant to the community there. So the overall response from the Alaska village was Native love is community. And the quote that we collected and various statements, this one was really important. We have to define love and re-educate about love, says Sarah. We need a return to traditional values of respect, caring, and sharing, adds Jessica. Even when you disagree, always take the high road. Respect one another and talk things through because children are watching and your elders are watching. We want to keep the legacy of respect going forward. And that was Sarah James, Sam Alexander, Princess Lucage, Alan Hayton, Jessica Black, and David Farley. So these were all of the people that contributed to our Alaska visit and gathering what Native love meant to them. Then, in search of Native love, we went to Arizona. And this is, oh, go ahead, Rose.
Oh, no, wonderful. This next video, and we encourage all of you to find these videos. I believe they're up on the www.niwrc.org website. And this next video with Justin Zikaku from Hopi, his quote, again, I echo Rebecca's sentiment that I really don't like to read directly from what's on the screen, but for those who do not have access, we just want to ensure that you hear these words because they're very powerful. These words came, from a young man. This video is just amazing in what he brings forth. But so what he says is, while the traditional roles and duties of men and women may differ from one tribe to another, Native women should be treated with utmost respect, he says, because they are the life of your family and your people and your culture, and because they carry on the family name. Women traditionally play a vital role in both the family and the community. They should be honored and loved for what they do and thanked on a daily basis. Without them, your legacy cannot be carried on. And again, this is from this young man, Ryan Redcorn from Buffalo Nickel at Chemawa actually shared, his time with Justin out in Hopi, and it was just amazing to hear how this organically came about with Justin's video. It's a very powerful one, so like all of them are. So I just really encourage all of you to be able to watch these videos. So next slide. Oh, and I'm sorry, his words was Native love is respect. So from the Alaska, it said Native love is community, and for Justin, his is Native love is respect. That's what it meant for him. So,
yeah, and I to oh, sorry, Rose, go ahead.
Oh no, that's fine.
I wanted to expand on that. Ryan did share a great story. So they were together doing the interview, and Ryan and Justin were talking and had the camera rolling and asking the questions. And Ryan ended up spending the rest of the afternoon just kind of hanging out and visiting. And they went down to where the corn was planted and really spent time together talking about Native love and continuing a conversation as men together. And the conversation really became more organic, and Justin started sharing about his traditional values. And that's when Ryan grabbed the camera again and said, let's do this. And it was more from the heart, and it translated really well into what this video is today. So when you see it, you're actually watching like a second reel that organically occurred during their visit together. So that was really special that he shared that. So in search of Native love, we continued on and went to Oklahoma. And this was Jalisa Ross, and her Native love is humility. So her words, it is nothing for my mom to come home from a long day at work and want to cook a meal for my dad. Not because she has to, but because she wants to. Expressions of love like holding hands while watching the television, maintained over the years of a relationship. Jalissa says, that's the experience that I have with love. Those little acts that my mom and dad do for each other. So this, again, is the words of a youth, and what Native love means to her is humility. So we'll go on to the next. Rose, did you want to do this one, or should I continue on? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is Raylyn Rodriguez, and in search of Native love, we went to California. And her response to Native love, and she's holding, her hands up as a heart in this photo, is compassion. And in Raylyn's voice, her hope for young people in her community is that they'll support each other despite individual differences. And her statement, rather than being in competition or belittling one another or looking different as people as bad, we can just empower and encourage one another to find our self-worth, our roles, and purpose in life. And that's really important too, because that lends towards bullying and lateral oppression, and youth really just supporting each other through their differences. I think this is one of my favorites. And I really love the photo too, with her heart hands. And then beyond that, we ended up, talking about the importance of survivor stories in Native love. So for those that can see, Evelyn Smith, she was from Lahala Band of Liseño Indians. So there's two quotes here. One is no more. I don't want to live like that anymore. She vows that for her family and for her grandbabies, the cycle had to be broken. And her quote is, they'll learn to stand up and speak for themselves and say, no, you can't treat me like that. It's not okay. That's what I want to teach my grandchildren and my community, that it's just not okay. For me and my family, for my grandbabies, the cycle will be broken. They'll learn to speak up and stand up for themselves. Again, you can't treat me like that. And those are the words from a survivor that contributed to the Native Love Project in 2013. So that kind of wraps up the history of the Native Love Project that started in 2013. So as Rose mentioned, it's all available on the website. We wanted to post thanks for all the people that contributed to that project. But in 2015, now we're going to move on to our upcoming project that launched just on February 9th at the Chemawa Indian School. So with that, I'm going to go to the next slide, and we can talk about Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So Rose, I'm going to pass it to you.
So as you know, February has been slated Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and there's also like a proclamation that's been passed from the president a few years ago, really focusing on teen dating violence and raising awareness, and that's that the violence is happening with and among our youth, and so it's a very pressing issue. And when we think about our nations and what you see in what's happening with our youth, it's very, very important that we reach out, that we be those advocates and be a bridge and be a good relative to our young ones, and everything that they are trying to maneuver. They're going through school. Their bodies are going through changes, and then they they meet and have start developing relationships amongst each other, and sometimes we see that there's things that are not so healthy going on, and so and as we know, many times our young ones don't actually come to us as parents. They don't come and share with us, and so we have to find ways to sort of meet them where they're at in all of this, and to be a good resource, to provide some guidance and hopefully some wisdom in everything that they're trying to understand in their lives, as they experience these things. Sometimes it's not so nice, and so I know Rebecca had a few statistics that she wanted to share, and then I just wanted to point out too, with the violence that is happening among our youth and being experienced by our youth. There's a it's a report called A Roadmap for Making Native America Safer, and it was basically done by the Indian Law and Order Commission, where the last chapter is completely devoted to Native Native youth and what they experience, their exposure to violence, to loss, and how such exposure may include witnessing, being the victim of, or learning about domestic and intimate partner violence, child abuse, homicide, suicide, sexual violence, and community violence. And there's just a number of statistics out there that, and I'll just pass that over to Rebecca to share.
Sorry, I was muted and still talking. Thank you, Rose. So Anita Lucchesi, she does our she's a communication specialist on the Native Love team, and we know some of the statistics. We do this work. Statistics you may have heard: 40% of Native children experience 2 or more acts of violence by the age of 18. 25% of Native children are exposed to violence. Oh, this is the one that Anita found, and it floored me. 25% of Native children are exposed to violence have post-traumatic stress disorder at a higher rate than U.S. soldiers that are coming home from Afghanistan. That really, David, that one was really hard for me to read. That's a huge number, more than our warriors coming home from Afghanistan. In a 1992 Minnesota youth study, found 92% of Indian girls reported having sexual intercourse, and they've been forced against their will to have sex. So 92% of coercion and sex. And then teen dating violence among high school students in Alaska's Native communities was 13.3% compared to the national average of 9.8%. So this is stuff that we know in our work. These are the numbers that show the reality of what everyone is going through. And of course, we all know that these numbers are low. This is only a disclosed amount. When we were, we're going to share a little bit more about our experience in Chemawa a little bit later in our webinar, but we know these numbers are low. So the Native Love Youth Challenge. This is we have 3 tracks of this Native Love project. One track is supporting educators and creating resources lists and toolkits for everyone who's working with youth or youth themselves to empower themselves to have school events, or teachers to have guided talking points in the classroom, and also support youth advocates. So that's all available on our Native Love website. It's one of the main tabs on the NIWRC website. You can just click it there. The challenge we'll get into a little bit more is an 8-month-long contest, and it's specifically tailored to Native youth so they can participate in a social media campaign, much like our Winter Challenge 2 years ago before ASL Challenge happened. And it's social media with photos and videos and prizes, really creating a conduit for their voices so they can tell us what Native Love means to them, and we can appropriately respond and provide resources for what they need and the current trends that they're experiencing. So, here, when we're talking about Native Love, one of the things that we talked about, it's Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and we're launching this month. We're going to adjourn the whole project, and the contest in September 1st is the last date for the contest entries, and we're going to announce the winners during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so we're keeping the conversation going. But is Native Love for youth just about relationships, or is it about Native humility and Native pride? Is it about family, traditional values? Is it skateboarding, or is Native Love basketball or powwow? So we opened it up so Native Love could also speak to what makes them happy. We can have those challenging conversations, but we wanted to keep them engaged and really talking about what Native love means to them also on a, the good side of life and what makes them happy and how we can support them. So this is all shown in these sample photographs. So there's our logo, and you'll see that on our Facebook page. And if you want to share and join us on Facebook, this is our avatar or profile picture and the logo for the campaign.
And Rebecca, just real quickly, we have a question from Miss Buford, Lauren Ashley Buford. Thank you, Lauren. She asked whether, I'm so sorry, I have a cold, so I'm kind of struggling with it a little bit, but she asked if they can get a copy of the stats to use with the Native Love campaign.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. We can provide that. It is also available on the Native Love webpage on NIWRC.org. We have statistics and toolkits. Everything is available on the website, or you can, at the end of our presentation, you'll see an email address, so you can reach out individually and we can provide you any resources that you need and any technical assistance as well. Rose, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I think, like you said, I think everything is captured on the website, but of course sometimes there's questions maybe unanswered that we would be more than happy to help assist you. So, yeah.
Okay, and to add to that, so when you go to our webpage, you click on Native Love, and it gives you intro, statistics, an educator's tract, a Native Love youth track, contest, and then of course we have t-shirts for sale too, so that's kind of fun. But within these little tabs, we kind of put things in different tracks. So we have these really cool areas to click on so that are more specialized in different disciplines. We have Healthy Me, Healthy Family, Healthy Love, and Healthy Friendships, and then we also have toolkits. So just for an example, when you click on Healthy Me, it offers leadership information and resources, overall Native wellness, suicide prevention, two-spirited communities, and disability communities. And additionally, in our resources, we have sexual assault, domestic violence, and some information and resources for foster care, adoption, and returning home. Under Healthy Love, we offer resources for teen dating, again with two-spirit, sexual assault, and domestic violence. And under Healthy Friendships, we talk about that anti-bullying and internet safety. And further, what you'll find on our website, toolkits for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, activity toolkits for community leaders as well as youth, candlelit vigil activities, and fundraising activities. So we really tried to create a comprehensive listing of useful tools as well as statistics. And there is a whole statistics page that we have compiled. Again, reach out via email and we'll provide it to you, or feel free to visit the website. So that's one of the educational educators, youth advocates, and resources, one of those main tracks over the overall project. So we're really happy to hear that question. So, okay, so now we're talking about our launch site, which was just 2 days ago in Tumawa Indian School in Oregon. We visited the school. They reached out and asked for some teen dating training, or if we could come visit. So it really was organic, and we partnered together, and there were an estimated probably 150 to 200 students present, although their school enrollment is 380. So we had a large number of teens flowing through our site together. So Rose, do you want to take this slide?
Sure. The opportunity to to spend some time, excuse me. Oh, sorry, it's that cold. The opportunity to spend time with our young relatives was amazing. Just being among them, around them, and them talking with them. We didn't have a whole lot of time, obviously, because it was a set time that was carved out to talk about this very specific issue. And it's just, Rebecca, and I know you'll be chiming in on this too, along with our brothers that were that tagged along with Rebecca and myself, or was Ryan Redcorn, Dallas Goldtooth, and Sterling Harjo. And to have those our brothers there to sort of talk about this issue was it was just an amazing experience. And we had a lot of interactive discussion and dialogue where we really engaged the youth. As you can see in the picture, for those of you who can see the screen, there was quite a few students there. And you could see the smiles and everybody's hands up, and some, it was wonderful. It was a really good opportunity to have this discussion. And we did ask some questions. We wanted to just sort of get a feel of, who is in a dating relationship, if they felt like they were being supported, if they, and as you can see on the screen, it said, we heard only 3 students in the room felt that they had someone to talk to if they experienced teen dating. And almost every hand was raised if they personally, a friend or family, experienced domestic or sexual or dating violence. And again, we discussed teen dating violence. They talked about the things that were important to them. And we just, also, we laughed. Humor is such a strong and powerful way to connect. It's healing. And so, a lot of laughter came out, like I said, with Sterling and Dallas and Ryan and Rebecca and I on stage together. It was just, with the interaction with the youth, it was just wonderful. So there was a lot of laughter. But despite the tough discussions, healing is important, and so we really wanted to leave that message as well, and just to let them know that they're not alone. So, so Rebecca, I'll turn it back over to you for your wonderful insights and how that conversation went, because I know that there was one of the teachers that expressed concerns that I wasn't in the room for. So I don't know if you wanted to share that now.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. So the picture just shares the room. There was a lot of laughter, and the Buffalo Nickel / 1491s, they really brought it into the room. I think the kids were happy that we were there because of the laughter and, the T-shirts and the videos. We had lots of fun, but, while that was going on, we had those hard conversations. And I don't want to repeat, but it was really hard to see a room of 200 plus students with only 3 people raising their hand that they had anyone to talk to if they were experiencing violence. And then almost every hand went up if they knew or personally experienced it. So after that happened, one of the educators kind of took the mic, and she shared her secondary trauma, I think is safe words to use, that she's really struggling in her leadership capacity with the students and helping them process, those teen dating relationships and how they change so quickly, and bullying really is a factor. And it reminded us of, why we were there, to offer support and make sure that we're just not there for a fun day. We're not just there for this project, that we need to remember our educators need support because they're dealing with youth. They're on the ground with them, and they have more experiences than we do in our programs or organizations. So that was telling, and we're going to stay connected and offer support there. So here's just a great picture. This was during one of the video shoots they did. You can see the laughter, and they had a great time, in between having those tough conversations. This is my favorite bit of the day.
And just a quick, somebody asked for the website again, and the website is www.niwrc.org. and then you'll find the Native Love tab.
Yep.
Okay.
And also our Facebook page. If you're a Facebook-friendly person or Twitter-friendly, Native Love is our webpage. And if you click on About Me, it has our website listed in there and other contact information. So that's kind of our hub would be our Facebook social media page. And here's just some, images. There's Rose wearing the Native Love t-shirt. We gifted t-shirts to all the students. They were really happy about that. And there's, Ryan doing his thing up on stage. And this picture, the bottom left, for those that can see it, the students were really diverse in their responses of what Native love means to them. And here's this youth holding up a photo of his girlfriend. So he kind of gave her a little shout out and said he was in a really healthy relationship. And that's what his Native love was.
Mm-hmm. And it was really nice to hear a lot of their responses. Native love is my mom. Native love is family. Native love is honesty. Native love is trust. Native love is I know several of them said respect as well. So so it was wonderful to hear that from many of them, as Ryan and Dallas and Sterling took the kids into another space to actually record, what Native love meant to them. So it was quite an honor, and it was fun. There were some kids in there that, again, it was fun, but some took a more serious tone and just really shared and said, Native love is my, are my parents or my sister. So it was nice to see that.
Right. So as we made these videos, so the goal is to have each teen on video with their camera phones or their iPads say, Native love means to me, and then the expression of what that is. And then challenge, just like our winter challenges when it was 40 below and we were all jumping in rivers and creeks and the ocean, because we all have sense. They ended up challenging other schools. So that was really cool that they wanted to do that. So here's just 3 schools, Riverside, Flandreau, and Sherman. So all the students challenged a whole nother school. So we're going to be reaching out and supporting them in their Native Love campaign as well. So that's kind of the theme of the challenge. And then we have Buffalo Nichols /1491. Dallas did the second challenge. Ryan Redcorn did the first challenge with all the flavor that he has. But Dallas challenged Native rappers, artists, friends, family to do the Native Love Challenge as well. And as you can see, he said, I love Spaceballs, the movie, burritos, powwows, his kids, and he loves sweatpants. So love meant a lot to Dallas, and he was really great. And if you go on our Native Love page on Facebook, his Native Love Challenge video is posted. And the great moment of his video is they turned the camera on the kids and they just let it out. They were screaming in the background, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that was when Dallas challenged. He put the challenge out to Chemawa School, and then and everybody jumped up and screamed and hollered, and because they knew the challenge was on. And then I just wanted to share a little bit too. We don't have Ryan's video to share, but it was it was I thought it was really good because he did his around basketball. With humor, of course, but as we know, and in many of our in our communities, basketball is huge. Our people take it seriously. I know back at home in White Swan, just a little shout out to White Swan, Washington. Basketball is a big deal, and so many of our students, that's their positive outlet, if you will, is basketball. And so that was Ryan's video, was his Native love was basketball.
Yeah, and I reached out to him, so we'll have that video posted really soon, and it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Completely ridiculous and funny, and the kids loved it. Oh yeah, okay, so a thought escaped me, but it's back. It takes me back to that teacher who was kind of disclosing her experiences, and she said it in front of everyone. And it was really great. She was having a difficult conversation in front of the student body, but she said some real positive things. She said she noticed the most healthy teen relationships in the school is when that couple plays together. They're on the court, they're playing basketball, or they're playing cards together. So it was really great to tie in, you know, Ryan using basketball as his native love, and then hearing that teacher support that they're doing healthy things together, and they actually have the healthier relationships that can be seen in the school. So I think that's pretty telling. So, okay, so let's talk about the actual challenge. So you all know how it flows and how it works. So you can take this back to your kids and your community and the schools where you are. So February 9th, 2 days ago, we launched the Native Love Project with our partners in Chamawa, and it goes through September 1st. So this is for the Native Love Is challenge videos that can be posted on social media. After September 1st, there'll be a voting system online, much like the NAMIs. People have an opportunity to click like and share, and that will be tallied as a vote. So the top 5 winners, top 5 voted videos or photos will receive prizes. Native youth ages 8 through 19 can enter the contest, make a video of what Native love means to me. Every video that's submitted for an entry must contain the hashtag Native Love Is. Post that on any social media with the hashtag. Make sure to challenge your friends and family. The winner will be announced during DVAM, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We want everyone to be creative. It doesn't have to be just you know, holding the camera up and speaking to the camera and submitting it. You know, Ryan being a filmmaker and Sterling, in fact, all of the Buffalo Nickel Creative, they were hoping to get some really creative short films from the youth. So we're hopeful for that. And then, of course, please like and share the Native Love Facebook page. So we talked about, you know, just a moment ago, we're going to have 5 winners. So in the center is a list of the prizes. And let me see if I have this. No, okay, so let me talk this through. So the prize will be an event, including all airfare for the winning youth, for the teen, and a chaperone, parent, guardian, auntie, grandmother, uncle to go with them. So we're paying for 2 airline tickets, lodging for an event, any registration fees for events. So it's basically an all-expense paid trip to any of these locations. So for those that can't see it, I'll read it. The Native Media Awards in Washington, D.C. on July 11th, 2016. The NAMIs, most likely in New York, 2016. The All Nations Skate Jam in Albuquerque, April 25th and 26th in 2016. When Chamawa kids heard that one, the room got really loud. Gathering of Nations in Albuquerque, same dates, 23rd through 25th. Or a trip to visit any college campus anywhere within the lower 48. The next prize is the Shawnee Schimmel game in 2016. Indian Nation Finals Rodeo in Vegas, November 3rd through the 7th. World Champion Hoop Dance Competition at the Herd Museum in Phoenix, February 8th and 9th of next year. Denver March Powwow in 2016. There's a typo there. A United Nations Indigenous Permanent Forum for our young activists, if that's what they would prefer to do, or a DC tour to the Smithsonian, visit with NCAI, and arrange visits with congressmen or congresswomen. And our goal is to have, you know, someone there with them. So hopefully we can have Shoni do a photo op, or if they're at the Indian National Finals Rodeo, have someone visit with them. So they're not just attending, kind of arriving, that we have, you know, a celebrity guest, so to speak, visit with them and have photo ops with them. So we're hoping that these prizes will be a great experience rather than an iPod or a $200 cash prize award. We wanted to give a positive experience. So that's the theme of the prizes. And here we have, the t-shirts that we have for sale. To have a t-shirt on during your video is great, but it's not necessary. If you'd like to order t-shirts, they're only $10 and they're posted on our website, and you're invited to do that at any time. We have sizes small through XXX in all 3 colors.
And just as an FYI, the smalls run really small. I'm a hardy Native woman, so I knew that I needed a little bit bigger space, so that small was not going to cut it.
Yeah, I think that small what fits my 9-year-old. So small is real small, but it's great because then the kids have a size to wear, right?
Yeah.
So here's just, a funny little meme, smoke signals, Native Love Challenge. I wonder if that'll post to Facebook for those that can see it. Just a little humor. And then we just want to say thank you. Native Love at NIWRC.org is the email address for technical assistance or sharing information from this presentation. Again, Native Love at NIWRC.org is the email address. You can reach out to us via our website, www.niwrc.org, or, of course, we want you to come visit the Facebook page, Native Love. And we want to thank Verizon Hope Line for funding the project. And with that, I pass it back to Rose. Do you have any closing comments? Rose, are you muted?
Sorry, yes, I was muted. Yeah, well, and to also open it up to questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to type in your questions. But while, maybe folks are thinking about things, I just wanted to share a few resources that we have. There's many different issues we talked about. One being, the use of technology to stalk, addressing stalking in Indian country, Native Youth Leadership Alliance is a good resource. We Are Native is another really good resource. They have, when you go to that website, they have an Ask Auntie, where Native youth can basically ask Auntie a question. And then there's other, we have a teen dating violence webinar coming up with NIWRC on February 18th, and that's called Teen Dating Violence Working in Indian Communities. And then we have other information about young Native girls and human trafficking. So that we have a lot of different resources that, for that information that may be useful or helpful to you. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that as well. And just want to, again, encourage, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to type them in. If not, you have our website information. If there's any follow-up information we can provide about teen dating violence awareness, about the Native Love Is campaign, about the contest rules. I don't know, Rebecca, did we go over the contest rules? Did we want to go over that at all?
And I apologize. I was muted while I was talking. I didn't mean to leave you hang there, sister.
Oh, no.
But yeah, the main parameters is it's Native youth, ages 8 to 19. The prices are all trips within the, lower 48. There's more rules available on our website, the disclaimer language and all the parameters there. So I think we're good with the contest unless there's questions, but we really urge you to share it because this is how we're going to understand where Native youth are, and it'll inform our work, I think, for all of us to hear what Native love means to them. Also, I wanted to offer on our website those resources we talked about. There's an educators tab, and that includes youth activists. So it talks about mandated reporting and things we know. A few ideas of how to open the conversation. So the goal is to provide you with these resources to take back to your community, offer them to teachers where they're having, discussions and experiences with teen suicide. We know that that's been happening so much recently, so that's offered in these toolkits. And I second, We Are Native is just an awesome website. It's really great. With that, I want to offer, our resources are as good as we've gotten. If you have resources that you would like us to share on our website in this Native Love campaign, things that models, experiences, activities, toolkits, please send them in and we will add them to our website so it's shared on a wider scale to other communities. I think that's a really important ask, and we would love to hear from you and share the great work that you're doing.
Okay, and then I would just also follow up and reiterate what the challenge criteria is, because I see a couple questions with regards to what some of those things are. And it's also found again on our website, but the criteria is record what Native love means to you, post a challenge for others to post their photo or video, because we're also accepting photos, and I don't know if that's really been stressed in our webinar, but photos can be accepted as well. So photo or video of what Native love means to them. Video clips can range from 10 seconds to 2 minutes. And the contestant should be between the ages of 8 to 19-year-olds. And the contest is from February 9th and ends on September 1st.
And one of the other unspoken, it is listed on our website, but we're really looking for positive imagery and positive language. That doesn't mean that someone can't be honest. As if we're hoping everyone thinks of safety and doesn't disclose and endanger themselves, but we will be filtering for inappropriate postings because we know that happens and backlash is a part of our world. But yeah, ideally, positive imagery is really important in words.
Yes. And then just again to reiterate, the contest begins February 9th and ends September 1st, 2015. And winners will be announced in October 2015 during DVAM, or Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
And the hashtag it's I guess another time to re-mention the hashtag is what enters videos into the contest, and that's hashtag Native Love Is. If something's posted without that hashtag, unfortunately, it won't go into our system. So that's a requirement.
And then we have another question from Verlene. She's saying, where are the resources located? And I listed off some of those resources, and I know Anita, again, is our communications specialist, and she came up with these wonderful, because we wanted to provide something for every day of the month in February, and so I believe this is also on our website, and if not, I'm sure it'll be posted soon. So the resources can be found or will be found at www.niwrc.org.
Under the Native Love tab. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when you enter that tab, you'll see the Native Love logo, and it has introduction language, statistics as resources, an educators tab that offers resources for adults and youth activists, educators, coaches. Native Love Youth is another tab, and that's for teens and youth to visit to collect resources that they would need. And then there's information on the contest, and then the last tab is the shop tab where you can buy t-shirts. So yeah, everything's embedded in our website.
And then somebody asked how long the video will need to be, and it can be from 10 seconds to 2 minutes. So excuse me. I just wanted to answer that. And then, can you email a list of the resources to attendees? Oh, I'm sorry, Rebecca, can you?
Sure. What I can do is send 3 links, the statistics, educators, and Native youth links so you can access them. If you need anything in PDF form, absolutely, you can reach out to that initial e-blast that'll go out to all the attendants today, or attendees today.
Oh, my apologies. I had a little bit of a coughing fit that came up upon me really quickly. And then we have a question from Rose Sadler. And she says, ask how can I get the information about the Native Love Challenge? She has some youth that wants to take part of it. Yoo-hoo! Exciting. So I believe we have your email address, Rose, so we can send you some information. I'm not sure if you do or do not have email access, so Rebecca, is there a way that we can send her a brochure? I think we do have brochures in like a PDF form, correct?
Yeah, we do. I don't have access to the questions or emails, but if Tara or Rose, if you can get that email and retrieve that and send it over to me, I can respond to that.
Okay.
I don't see the chat session at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we just want to be responsive, and and Tara says we can. Okay. So Rose Sadler, just to let you know, we'll get you some information out via email, so that way you you can print it off, and actually have a hard copy. So, okay.
Any other questions out there?
Not that I'm seeing any. I know somebody asked for the ages of the youth again. That's it's open 8 to 19-year-old. Yep. So, but I don't see any other questions, Rebecca.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank everyone. I see we had 45 attendees, and we're really excited to partner with you to do this work together and share this far and wide, and really use Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month as a launch to start, or not start, but continue on the great work that we're working with youth. And I want to thank all of my teammates with the Native Love Project. Again, that's Rebecca Bailog and Rose Quilt, Tara Azor, Anita Lucchesi, Veronica Willetto, and Teng Chim, and our executive director, Lucy Simpson. I do want to thank them for all their energies, because this is great work we're all doing together. Mm-hmm. Please let us know the items you'd like us to share on our website so we can partner together further. So thank you, Wopila.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a great afternoon.
Take care now. See you. Tara, do you have any closing housekeeping items? Nope.
No, I do not. I'll end the broadcast.
Okay, thanks
now.
everyone. Bye. Thanks, Tara.
Thank you.
Thank you.